Hi guys, it is Lily here from Crafting Through Mental Health. Please subscribe if you haven't already. I make mental health and crafting videos here on YouTube, and today we are doing the mental health tag. There hasn't really been any, so I've just kind of copied some questions online somewhere I found, so I'm going to be answering those today. If you've watched my previous video, you'll know that I'm sort of very busy at the moment, so I'm trying to do a couple of quick videos. We're going back to 2012, probably earlier than that, 2010 or something, with tag videos here. But I think they're quite good to kind of get some basic questions out, and you can find a little bit more about me. And if you want to do your own tag or anything like that, you can either leave it down in the comments, answer some of these questions, or you can do your own video. Please do link me to it if you do. I'd love to check it out, and that would be really awesome. So I asked on my little Facebook group there is called Small YouTubers Community. It is brilliant. If you are a small YouTuber, please join it. We're really friendly over there. It's really lovely. It's no sub for sub. Unless it's to do with Subway, because we're all in for that. But it's really nice. So I asked if anyone wanted to see any typical types of mental health videos, and I went for the tag idea because I thought that was a brilliant idea. That idea was from Karen McLean. I hope I pronounced your name right. I will link her channel down below. Her channel is called Aspie Answers. I will all link that down below. I'm sorry if I pronounced that wrong. She is also on the autism spectrum. She has Asperger's, so she makes videos of that. So please check her out. She will be linked down below. First question is, what mental illnesses do you have? Now, if you've watched my channel for a while, you'll probably know this, but if you're new here, they are a lot better now. I am on treatment for it, but my main ones are anxiety. That is the main problem. That's the one that causes the depression that I've had in the past. I've had eating disorders in the past, a lot during when I was at school. So I've had those. I used to self-harm, if that counts. That was like a bad coping mechanism that I used to have. Autism, I don't know if that counts under, it's sort of a mental disorder rather than a mental illness. Those are sort of the main ones. There have been little things that have springed off from those, but that is the main one. Mainly anxiety is my biggest issue I have. When were you diagnosed? With autism, I was 7. With anxiety, depression, and the rest, the problem was the doctors never went, you have this. It was, I would go to doctors to get help, and they would either be like, you need vitamins, and I'm like, but I am not okay. I was suicidal at times. It was really bad. So my doctors weren't the best with that. So really, to put a pinpoint on it, like it was so nice to go to a doctor when I was 17 and them to go, yep, you have this, 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 and you've obviously had that for many years. Because some people don't believe that you have it unless you've been told by a doctor, where I obviously did have it. I mean, I had panic attacks every day, so you can't turn around to someone that has panic attacks every day and anxiety every day and go, you don't have anxiety. You know, it's still there. Who knows about it? Well, let you in on a little secret. Yeah, pretty much everyone. Yeah, I make mental health YouTube videos. So really, when I first meet people, I'm like, yeah, I make videos, and then obviously they ask what they are, and then I go into, well, I make mental health videos. I'm very open about it. When I was younger, I've always been quite open about it, actually. I've always been quite like, I'm autistic, and saying stuff like that. With I think it all stems from the fact that I am quite an out there person. I mean, I don't know if you can tell, but I'm very sort of subtle, but I am very quite out there. It sort of was always sort of known. I mean, in primary school and stuff like that, it wasn't really known, but I then didn't understand that I had problems at that point. But during secondary school, I was having panic attacks. It was very sort of open. I was missing classes, so people twigged on. I wasn't very, so everyone sort of knew, so therefore I kind of had the attitude of, if everyone knows, then I'll just be open about it. self-harm and problems like that I did hide away, so they know about it now, but at the time there were things like my eating disorder. People didn't know about that because I believed I didn't have it. I do have other videos. If you are interested in any of the topics I'm talking about, check out my channel. There are other videos on there, like my eating disorder story, and a few other points on there as well, like my anxiety and how to help cope with it if you suffer from it as well. Do you receive treatment for it? Currently, I don't receive any therapy or anything like that. I am on antidepressants. I'm on quite strong ones, sertraline, and they have pretty much saved my life. Before that, I was having panic attacks every day. I was severely unwell with my anxiety and depression and was miserable. I didn't go out, and with those it kind of led me to meet my partner, to basically live my life and be able to just go out and have fun without having that burden of I'm gonna have a panic attack before, after and during. You know, it was horrible. So I am receiving treatment that way, but I believe I will be on them for a very long time, because I personally believe it's an imbalance in my head, a chemical imbalance. So yes, I have received a lot of treatment from the past, from therapy wise. I think I've seen about 7 therapists now, probably, or 8. So I have a lot of experience. I've seen paid ones, I've seen the ones from CAMS, the NHS ones, and I've seen charity-based ones, and actually the charity-based one in my area is the best I've ever been to. If you live in the Berkshire sort of area, ARC is amazing. Just, I couldn't praise them enough. They've amazing, just amazing. Has your mental health stopped you from doing anything? Yeah, it's made me lose a lot of friends in the past, recently, you know. It stopped me from doing stuff like that. I can't do stuff spontaneously. Like, I can and I can't. I mean, with my antidepressants it's a lot better, but I can't do certain things. I don't like roller coasters or anything like that, and that's solely down to my anxiety. I get a bit funny with the cinema. I'm a lot better now, but I've always struggled with that, because if I've had a major anxiety attack at that place, it brings back memories, and then I feel personally like it's more likely to occur. I'm a lot better now. I'm more recovered than I was, but it definitely in the past it has stopped me from doing things. Before I was on my antidepressants, I loved like things like Comic-Con and stuff like that, but I wouldn't go because the anxiety. And it's also about surrounding yourself with the right people as well. Like, my boyfriend is so supportive. If I had a panic attack, he wouldn't bat an eyelid, like, at the fact that we would have to leave. He would be like, no, you're my first priority. I want you to be happy and healthy. He wouldn't make me feel guilty, where there have been people in the past that would be like, you are the worst person ever. How dare you? How you're, you know, a killjoy for being depressed, and oh, it's just simply going into school. You know, surrounding yourself with people that actually care and understand is really important. Is there anything in particular that helps you? My antidepressant. It's like a promotional video for antidepressants. I do have a pros and cons if you are considering it. Yeah, my antidepressants have really helped me. But I am a strong believer, and I will tell this to anyone. When people think of like someone saving them, you are the person that saved you at the end of the day when you are recovering and stuff like that. You're the one that's putting in the work, and as bad as it is, the only person that can save you is you. That sounds really bad, but it's true. Obviously with help as well. Like, my mum has been an amazing help. She is the most amazing woman out there, and without her I honestly don't know where I'd be. And like I said, my partner is very supportive. I think they have helped me very much, and my family have. I've been very lucky with that. But at the end of the day, when people are like, oh, it's solely that part, like solely my mum that's helped me. Yes, she was the one that got me up when I was the lowest I could be. And I respect her and I thank her for that, and I do say she helped save me. But at the end of the day, it was still me. I was still the one that put in the work. I was still the one that cried through the self-harm urges and helped myself. And I know I was chatting to a friend the other day and I said, you were the one that saved you. And it's that sort of fear. It's like when you quit smoking and then you start up again, it's that horrible thing of I failed. And if you relapse, it's that stigma that you failed. You haven't failed, you still have saved yourself. Can you describe what it's like to have your mental illness? That is a tricky one. I think it's tricky when you've always had it. It's like when people are like, what's it like to have autism? I was born with autism, therefore I don't know what it's like to be a normal person, you know. But scary. Mainly with my anxiety, it's terrifying. You feel like I had it the other day where I had just this little flash of it, and even in that flash it was just like, oh my god, I'm gonna need to go home, I'm gonna lose my job, I'm gonna have this, and it's just like this horrible dread that you're like, I won't survive this. And I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. It is horrific to have anxiety, depression. Depression is horrible. When people are like, well, why don't you just simply get out of bed? It is so physically hard to do that. An eating disorder is painful and so psychologically draining and physically draining. You are physically in pain the whole time and you're exhausted, but you believe you're not ill, or you believe this is the right thing. And it is horrific. So, not great. It's hard. I do have a video on what it feels like to have anxiety to explain to people that don't suffer from it. That is quite a good video if you want to check it out. What is a common misperception, if I can get the word out, about your mental illness? Ooh, that's a tricky one. Ooh. The biggest one I can think of that I hate is when people are like, everybody has autism. Just no. 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 Just no. Ugh. Anxiety. I think it's also the other thing. Everyone suffers from anxiety. We all have it in us. So it's that sort of thing of like, well, bloody black coats of it, why can't you? And it's like, you know, well, bloody blah can walk, but why are you in a wheelchair? You wouldn't say that, so don't, you know. It's that sort of thing of, why can't you just get out of bed and cope? That is annoying and not great. I would say those are the biggest ones that I don't like. There are probably more, but I don't often think about it, or I address them in other videos, so then I forget that other people still deal with that. But I would say those are the main ones. We're all learning. I think the generation now and people are learning more about mental health now, so therefore it is better to, it's sort of growing. Those misconceptions are sort of dying out. What do you find most difficult to deal with? It was always the anxiety, the generalized anxiety. I would have panic attacks about being stuck at home because I'd be like, oh my god, I'm at home, I'm wasting my life, you know, scared, terrified of that. And then when I would be out, it would be like, I'm not safe, I'm not at home, I'm gonna have a panic attack, and that is really hard to deal with. I think also as well, planning for the future, you don't know where you're gonna be, and I am a lot better now, but you know, you still worry like the unknown, and I think that's linked with autism as well, the unknown of don't like change and stuff like that, but I do want to travel and things like that, so it's a tricky one. Well, that is it for my mental health tag. I hope you enjoyed it. I think I covered a lot of points there. I don't think there's anything else I want to make a point of. I will be making another one literally like in 2 minutes for me, but probably I think it will be 2 weeks after this video on autism. It will be an autism question thing. So check that out. If you haven't already, please subscribe and give this video a like as well. That would be really handy. And thank you for all your support recently. I've been having such a hard time lately and you guys have been absolutely amazing. And next week will be my Amsterdam vlog. So even though, you know, if you're watching this and you suffer from anxiety, I honestly, I couldn't leave my house at certain points. I had awful anxiety. There is hope. You can, you know, you can live your life however you want to. So yes, spreading the hope around, and have a fabulous week, and I love you guys.